Hello everyone. So today we are going to do the chapter clauses. Okay, so what is a clause? A group of words that contains a finite verb and has a subject and a predicate but only forms a part of a sentence is called a clause. Like for example, I graduated last year. The old man works hard. When I came here, although she was there, so these all are the examples of a clause. Okay, so now the types of clauses. Clauses are mainly of two types, independent or main clause and dependent clause or subordinate clause. Okay, so the first one, independent or main clause. A clause which can stand on its own to make a meaningful sentence is called an independent clause. It is also known as a main, primary, or principal clause. And I hope you all know that in a sentence, two independent clauses can be connected by the coordinator or coordinating conjunctions like but, or, so, for, and yet. This we have already done in our previous video for the chapter conjunctions. Okay, so let us look at some examples. First one, he is a great man. So here as you can see it is expressing a complete and a meaningful thought saying that he is a great man. Okay, next one, the old man works hard. Okay, so here also as you can see it is also expressing a complete thought saying that the old man works hard. Okay, let us look at some more examples. I knew the man who stole his ring. Okay, so here in this sentence, which one do you think is an independent clause? Okay, it is, yes, the underlined group of words, that is, I knew the man, because it expresses a complete thought compared to the other clause, which is who stole his ring, because it is not expressing a complete thought if we look at it individually. Okay, so the next one, if you don't want me to go, I won't go. So in this one also, which one do you think is an independent clause? Yes, it is I won't go, because it expresses here also a complete and a meaningful thought compared to the other clause in the sentence, which is if you don't want me to go. Okay, see, if you look at it, if you look at the clauses individually, you see that the independent clause gives you a complete thought, whereas the dependent clause, or whereas the other clause in the sentence does not give us a complete meaning. Like for instance, if you don't want me to go, if you don't want me to go, then what? Okay, if you don't want me to go, so what? Okay, so we see here that something is not right or complete, isn't it? But if we look at the other clause in the sentence, that is I won't go, we see that how it not only expresses a complete and meaningful saying that you won't go, okay, or saying that I will not go, but is also sounding right and appropriate. Okay, okay, so now the next type of clause, that is dependent clause. Okay, so a dependent clause cannot function on its own and requires the help of a main clause to complete the meaning. Okay, it is also known as subordinate clause. And the next thing that you have to remember in this clause is that the dependent or subordinate clause is introduced by subordinators or subordinating conjunctions, relative pronouns, or relative adverbs. Okay. Okay, so now the example. Unless your parents agree, we will not go out for a picnic. Next one. Although I was there, I couldn't help her. So in each of these sentences, the underlined part is the subordinate clause, or you can also say a dependent clause, as it does not give us a clear meaning when we read them without the help of the main clause in these sentences. It is only when we read it together with the main clause it makes sense and give us a complete thought. Okay. Okay, so sentences combined together can form a new sentence where one can become the main clause while the other becomes the subordinate clause. Okay, so let us look at the example to know it better. Okay, he is very talented player. He is out of practice. So as you can see here, there are two sentences. Okay, and by joining them, we can form a new sentence like he is a very talented player, though he is out of practice. Okay, next example. I met her. She was fine. So two sentences, and when we join them, a new sentence is formed, that is When I met her, she was fine. Okay, so we see here how with the help of the underlined subordinators we have joined the sentences and made it into another sentence, that is with a main clause and a subordinate clause in each sentence. Okay,